For problem 3-39, Graciela and Walter were working on solving the systems of equations in part F of problem 3-38. So basically yesterday, the problems you were working on where we were adding to the last person's work, this was one of those problems. And if I look at this looks really difficult to solve. Because keep in mind, we'd be trying to solve for y. We'd be trying to get the y by itself. And there's a lot of steps here. So luckily there is a method called substitution. And particularly in this case, we call it U substitution. You'll hear about that more when you get to calculus. Okay, we're going to use a variable to replace a part of this equation so it's easier to solve. Now, the way that you try to figure out, or the way that you can figure out what you should replace U with, is the expression that you see multiple times. So for example, I see this over here, and I see this over here. It's the same expression in both. That tells me I'm going to replace that piece with U. So U is going to equal the square root of x squared minus 15x. So I'm going to rewrite each of these equations, but instead of writing this big long piece out, I'm going to put a U in there. So I have U over 2y equals 5. And I have 3u minus 3y equals 27. So I just put a u in place of this longer expression. I'm going to solve each of these for y. So I have 2y times 2y. These cancel out. I get u equals 10y. Divide by 10. So u over 10 equals y. Okay, and then over here I can divide all of these by 3. So I get u minus y equals 9. Okay, to solve, I'm going to add y on both sides. So I have u equals 9 plus y. Subtract my 9. I get u minus 9 equals y. Now, since both of these equal y, I can set the left sides equal to each other and figure out what u is. So I'm going to do u over 10 equals u minus 9. And I'm going to solve. So I'm going to times 10 on both sides. These cancel out. I get u equals, now remember, I have to multiply this through. So I have 10u minus 90. I'm going to subtract 10u from both sides. I get negative 9u equals negative 90. Divide by negative 9. U equals 10. Okay, so I could figure out what my u value equals. Then I can plug my u back into one of my equations to figure out what y equals. So I'm going to use u over 10 equals y. Okay, so I have 10 over 10 equals y, which equals 1. So I know that my y value will equal 1. Now I could take this y value and plug it back into one of my original equations to figure out what my x is. But for time purposes in today's lesson, I'm not super worried about that. The key thing that I want you to recognize is that to identify what u should equal, look for the equivalent expression in each of your equations, or you might even see it twice in the same expression. So u is always what you see multiple times. And then here's just a quick way that we can solve to find our u. So you're going to be trying a little of this today. Rewatch the video for help and take notes if you need to.